Welcome into the Paul Farrington Show. Paul joined by Jack Weinberger and Robert Ziggy Ziegler at the University of Virginia. Boys, week 4 of the NFL season is here. We're almost 25% of the way done with the season. It's crazy how quick it's going.
I don't think so. I think you're wrong.
You think I'm wrong? It's almost
Surely you are.
It's crazy, right? It's just it goes so fast every single year that all of a sudden you blink and you're in December football and people are getting ready for the playoffs. So we'll enjoy it while we have it. A lot of really fun, exciting games in today's show. You know, Vikings-Packers as we've been getting ready for that one. It's fun in rivalry week here. Big show, power rankings, game picks, zig or zag, Jack Cap of the week. I mean, it doesn't get better than the preview show for the Paul Farrington Show. If you're enjoying the content, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. I'm thinking maybe at 15,000 subscribers, we do a giveaway or something. That my sister walked down today and said, Paul, you're almost at 15K, you guys. Like, you should do something then. All right, maybe
we're not almost at 15K.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
2.5K away.
I guess we're a large percentage of our total subscribers away from 15K.
Well, once the Packers beat you guys, we'll be there.
Oh, geez. No, please, God, no. It is really kind of cruel that a lot of the success of this channel has been linked to Packers success, because people come up to me, and I'm Ziggy, and I'm sure they say the same thing about me and you. They're like, you guys want the Packers to win this weekend, right? I'm like, no. Like, I hate the Packers. Like, I can't stand the Packers. You know, I'm having people send me Jair Alexander grittying on Justin Jefferson all week. Like, I can't stand this team. It truly pains me.
I think a small part of you wants them to
No,
win.
it truly pains me.
Shut it, Jack.
I can't root for them.
Come on, like a 10% chance.
Even though the success of the channel is awesome, I cannot root for them.
Well, just think about it. Like, you'll be 3-1 anyway, and we get a ton of views.
I understand the benefits, but I've grown up my whole life not standing this team.
If the Vikings lose,
I can't.
If the Vikings lose, what are you upset for? Like maybe 10 minutes, and you're like, oh, like this is pretty sick now.
No,
I'm
if
like,
they win,
you don't get it, Jack.
You don't get it. You don't get it.
If they win, you're probably happy for 10 minutes and like, oh, like shoot, like Green Bay lost.
Gambling has taken over your true fandom colors. Jack can be influenced by the dollar like no other.
Just like most people, it's sad.
The Pick'em League is rolling right now, guys. Shout out to Jacob Clay, who's in first with a 33-15 record through 3 weeks. Remember, the winner of this week gets Paul Farrington Show merch from our website. That's pretty cool. You know, individual week giveaways, weeks 4, 8, 12, 16. So this is the first one. We'll see how this goes, you know, ordering a shirt. But whoever wins this week will win a t-shirt. And there's a tiebreaker, I think. Otherwise, I guess.
Yeah, there's a tiebreaker for points in the Monday night game.
Okay, great. Otherwise, we're giving away tons of shirts.
But if there's a tie in the tiebreaker, you both win.
Oh yeah, well yeah. Then you do both win. Remember, you can still join the Pick'em League if you want to compete in the weekly giveaways. You could join by going to our channel homepage, becoming a member of the channel. Just click join. It's the button next to our show logo. You can listen on audio on Spotify or Apple Podcasts if you can't check it out on YouTube. There is the merch shop in the description if you want a shirt anyway. And remember, you can follow us at Farrington Show, just at Farrington Show on Twitter. We're trying to build that up a little bit. We got that blue check mark next to us.
Oh, I was happy to see that.
You see that?
Yeah, I was happy to see that.
Paying Elon for that blue check mark. Actually, it's so we could reach out to people and hopefully have guests. But we're the kind of show that would get ghosted. You know, you see us and you're like, who the hell are those guys? So if you have any fun guest recommendations, drop them in the comments below. We'll try and get some people on. Real quick before we start the power rankings, and Ziggy's going to start rolling his eyes here because Ziggy's like, I'd like to get out of here by 6:30, and I'm already going on tangents.
Yeah.
So just real quick, did you guys see that Christian McCaffrey is going to see a specialist in Germany?
I saw
for his Achilles.
I saw a text in the group chat today. I forget who sent it, but
I mean, what a horrendous outcome this has been for San Francisco. And people who drafted Christian McCaffrey in fantasy just kind of out of nowhere now. This guy, I'm actually starting to get like miss the season vibes from McCaffrey, which is probably a little strong, but you know, you're going flying over to Germany to see someone to fix your Achilles. I can't see you on the field in a couple weeks.
I mean, that's got to be at least a while, right? You figure?
Well, but he's going over just so he can return faster.
I guess so. It's just, this is the sort of thing where it feels like it's snowballing now. And the 49ers have these seasons where they just get bit by the injury bug. You know, McCaffrey, Hargrave's out, Debo's hurt. It's kind of this collection now. Brock Purdy's even a little banged up. Starts to make you wonder, you know, to me, they were the team that you all fear in the NFC. And if they wind up kind of fading out this season, then I really think it's anyone's game. And that kind of gets exciting for some. Obviously, no one roots for injuries, but it gets exciting for some other NFC teams to have the door opened a bit more.
I mean, Mason fantasy owners are pretty pumped.
They already want the team to fear. We own them.
You're right. We own them. I said I'm going to be more positive during this show. I'm going to be more optimistic.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah, you got to enjoy it, right?
Wait till I have Pittsburgh in the power rankings.
Okay, yeah. So the power rankings here. Everyone knows how we do it by now. We each pick a team one at a time, going from 10 to 1. It's filled with chaos. It's filled with fun. It's filled with some really confusing decisions that have kind of worked out so far. With the Cowboys not being on the first list. And then, Ziggy puts the Chargers at 3, which that's the only one that really didn't work out.
That's quite foolish.
The Eagles
But Justin Herbert got hurt. What was I supposed to do?
Justin Herbert got hurt.
It wouldn't
That's a
have
good
made a
point.
difference.
Oh, yeah. Jack's mad about that.
It wouldn't have made a difference.
So we have this joint power rankings now. I did 10 the first time. Jack went first the second time. Ziggy, you are now leading the joint power rankings. Who comes in at number 10?
Number 10, we've got a new team in the joint power rankings. I don't think they've shown up until this point. They have a chance to climb quite a bit this week. I've got them maybe even a little bit lower than I think they are because we just don't know how this team's going to look this week. I've got the Green Bay Packers slotting in right at 10.
Okay.
Jordan Love could be coming back. Malik Willis, even if Malik Willis were there, I'd have him maybe not 10, but 13 or 14. They've looked impressive with him out. There's been chaos all around them. This team's looked solid, and it's tough not to have them in your top 10 at this point.
You like that, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, I had the Packers at 8, so I'm not going to complain about 10.
Ziggy, I thought that you were actually talking about a different team that I had at 10. I had the Packers at 9, so I like that on our list. We're kind of
on the same page.
We're kind of
amazing.
Yeah, well, at the start.
So it rolls over to me now.
I can tell this
for
is
9.
this is going to be chaos. This 9, 10 through 1.
No, I'm feeling okay. I think you're right with the Packers, by the way, Ziggy, that this is a team that's kind of getting going and could very quickly ascend if Jordan Love reestablishes himself. But for right now, I think 10's a really good spot. I mean, they're playing, even with Malik Willis, I think they're playing like the 10th best team in the league or a top 10 team, right? Would you all agree, even with Malik at quarterback?
Yeah.
I wouldn't put him at 10.
You said 13, right?
Good.
Okay. 9, I'm going to go with another newcomer to the list, the New York Jets. I'll go Aaron Rodgers and the Jets here, where Rodgers Thursday night looked like MVP Rodgers, moving around well, throwing the ball. I mean, extremely accurate. The defense is getting going over the past couple of weeks at 2-1. I like what I'm seeing from them. So I actually have the Jets here. They were my 10 team, but we're going to go Packers 10, Jets 9 so far.
So I had the Jets at 7. I was impressed by Rodgers as well. Impressed by the Jets as a whole. I was at that game, and I walked out of that stadium kind of upset because the Jets.
Oh yeah, you were at that. I forgot you were at that game.
I walked out upset because the Jets looked pretty good. So what are we at? Number 8 now?
Number 8, yeah. It's only 2 teams.
Okay. Number 8, I'm going to go Seattle. I'm going to go Seattle at 8. It's tough to leave a team out of the top 10 who's 3-0.
I would.
They haven't looked like a top 5 team, but I'm not leaving out a team who's 3-0 in our top 10. I had Seattle higher.
You would leave them out, Ziggy?
I'm going to adjust, put them at 8.
I think they belong right in that 12 to 15 range.
But why?
I don't know.
You just don't believe in Geno?
3-0.
I mean, the offense last week was the week where everyone decided to crown them. And besides one big play to DK Metcalf, the offense wasn't good. I haven't seen anything that convinces me that this team's particularly good. I know Seahawk fans in the comments are going to say I have a double standard. I'm not sold on this team.
I mean, winning matters, though.
I'm not sold on Seattle either, and I think that they will not be in the top 10 for very long. But I did realize I was making the argument that winning matters just the other day. And with them being 3-0, I don't want to put them in the top 5, even though the record is the best in the league, or tied for it. I like this spot at 8, Jack. I think it's a good pick.
I actually had him higher, but I adjusted.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad you went to.
Maybe it's better off I put him at 8 here.
Okay. So right now we have Packers, Jets, Seahawks, back to Zig, to Jack.
Oh, it's me again.
Wait, no, back to Ziggy. I'm sorry. You see, now I can't count. That's what I get. I get karma for making fun of Jack.
Yes,
back to Ziggy now.
I'm at 8. Ziggy's at 7.
This pick is going to make a lot of people mad. Well, I don't know what you want from me. If you look at teams around the NFL, I get that this team is 1-2. and a lot of people think they probably shouldn't be on here. But I think the Baltimore Ravens have played like a borderline top 10 team this season. The Ravens have a good offense. They've got a defense that I think is going to, I've been so hard on the Ravens, but if you look back and see how they've actually played, I mean, losing to the Raiders is unfortunate. There's no doubt about it. But you played a close game in Kansas City. You whooped the Cowboys until they staged that little fourth quarter comeback that didn't go anywhere. It's tough for me not to look at the team with the reigning MVP that's had a pretty decent start to the season, even without maybe the record that you'd like to see, and not have them in your top 10.
I like it.
Okay.
I think it's I actually had Baltimore even higher than that. So I like this here because you're right. If you watch the games that they've played in, they have been very impressive.
I had Baltimore at 11.
They had a bad quarter against the Raiders. That's basically what this comes down to.
Baltimore was my first team out of the top 10.
Well, yeah. I mean, you were never in a million years going to put them in.
No way. No way.
Okay, so Ziggy's got the Ravens at 7. That comes to me now for number 6. I'm going to put the Detroit Lions here. I don't think Detroit's playing great football at the moment. They're not even close to what their ceiling is, but they are 2-1. They're still finding ways to win. The Cardinals game, they did control most of that second half. We talked about the 2-minute warning, issue in that game. Other than that, from then on, they were really in control. A Cardinals team that had been looking explosive, dynamic on offense to hold them to 10 points or 13 points. I was impressed by that. Some injuries now, a little bit on that defense with Marcus Davenport out for the season. I believe Ragnow is also hurt. So some injuries are starting to be a little bit of a concern. I think it's Ragnow, someone on the line. But yeah, Detroit at 6, and they had top 5 potential throughout the year.
Yeah, I had him. Actually, had him at 4. So I don't hate the.
We're starting to kind of fall into sync here.
5. I'm going to put a team who we didn't have last week. They're crawling back in, despite not looking great, picking up a road win. The Birds are back in the power rankings here. Philly at number 5.
Philly at 5.
They haven't really looked great. I mean, last week was super sloppy, but they're 2-1. Found a way to get it done on the road against the Saints, who I think we had at number 4 in our power rankings last week.
Yeah, screw them.
I mean, they've fallen out. They've fallen out. So
don't come back.
But you're off a home loss in Atlanta. Then you go on the road to New Orleans. That was a huge win, despite not looking that good. This Philly team's got too much talent. They're going to be fine. They're my pick to win the NFC East. They're right there at number 5.
And they were marching up and down the field in that game, too. They kept having something happen.
Yeah, they were just shooting themselves in the foot a bit, but I'm putting them at number 5.
That's what they've done this year. They have shot themselves in the foot a lot. So remember last year, Ziggy, we said they were finding ways to win, but really it was just masking flaws. Like, you wonder what point could that happen again this year, that the flaws have just been masked with wins at the moment. So, okay, we got the Eagles starting off the top 5. Back over to Ziggy.
So we're in the top 4 now.
We're in the top 4 now. This is where you've been prone to blowing things up. So hopefully
Ziggy knows what he wants to do here.
Yeah, I think the top 3 is pretty settled, and the team that I would have put a little bit higher has been already picked. So I'll take a team that's slightly lower in my top 10, but that I think belongs, and throw them up here. At 4, we got the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh,
now you might say this team is 0-3. Why do they belong? But this isn't the record rankings. This is the power rankings. And if you look at the Cincinnati Bengals, what you see is a pretty good defense and a pretty good offense.
Pretty.
And look, you can say that's
pretty good defense.
That's not good enough.
38.
But there aren't a lot of teams in the NFL that have an offense better than Cincinnati, right? They've got a borderline top 5 offense. They've got a decent defense, right? It's probably close to league average. But I'm not counting out Joe Burrow and the Bengals. I get that losing to Washington sucks. I get it. I get that losing to Kansas City by 1 point sucks. I get it. Well, I don't know what you want from me. This Bengals team plays pretty well. As long as they play pretty well, they belong up there.
No, he's not serious.
When they win in Carolina by 40, you're going to say, Ziggy, you're a genius.
You're fading Andy Dalton in the revenge game?
Yes.
No way. Carolina's going to win that game. They're 6-point home dogs. You're fading the Red Rocket?
All right, surely you're not serious right now.
I think the Cincinnati Bengals are one of the best teams in the NFL. This isn't the record rankings. This is the power rankings.
I'm sorry. You're being serious right now.
What do you want from me?
I still don't believe.
Should I Google AFC standings and just read those off to you? Because I can do that.
You understand
AFC standings.
You understand now that either Kansas City or the Bills will not make this list.
Look, man, I don't know what you want. No, this is 4. There's still spots for 3 teams.
Oh, I'm aware.
Wait. Hold on, Ziggy, because people are going to come in here. So wait, let's just clarify something first. You're serious right now.
The Bengals are at 4.
Okay, if the Bengals are at 4, I need you to be able to explain to the person that comments, what the hell are you doing? Can you one more time reiterate how you could possibly have the 0-3 Bengals who just got beaten at home? They made Jane Daniels look like the greatest rookie quarterback ever, and you're leaving. You're leaving the Steelers, Vikings, Bills, and Chiefs. One of them is not in your top 4 for
this
the Bengals.
Steelers team is number 16 for me.
They're number 3 for me.
The Bengals have one of the best offenses in the NFL and a pretty good defense.
But they've lost at home to the Raiders and the Commanders.
Pretty good defense.
You mean the Patriots?
Right, Patriots and Commanders.
The Patriots loss was tough. I'm not denying that. This team has played like one of the better teams in football. I'm sticking with them at 4.
So for you...
But they got blown out at home Monday Night Football.
So for you...
By a rookie.
You say they got blown out?
Yeah, I thought the Commanders controlled that game.
The Commanders did control that game. They didn't get blown out, but the Commanders definitely
blown out was the wrong one.
Okay,
right?
so you seriously think this? This is... All right, this is just insane.
So I'm telling you right now, either KC or Buffalo is out.
I mean, I actually do agree with you, Ziggy, that I think the Steelers are not a 3-0, have not been an impressive 3-0, but they are still undefeated.
They're my number 3 team.
Okay, so
again, if you want the record rankings, I can give you the record rankings.
Okay,
but we're not doing
so. All right, this comes over to me at 3. Wait, where did you have the Bengals on your list?
I have them at 7.
At 7. So they were the highest, or they were the lowest of your top 10 teams left.
Yeah,
that's insanity.
All right, at 3, then I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings. I think the Vikings I actually think the Vikings, maybe outside of Buffalo, have played like the best team in the league, have been the best team in the league this year. You could actually probably even put in Buffalo. And the Vikings defense and offense has just been on fire. I mean, this is the best defensive performance from them in 7 years, since like the 2017 defense that took them to the NFC Championship game. And offensively, it looks, like they haven't missed a beat without Kirk, which is kind of crazy. I'm really curious to see what it would look like if you could, mirror dimension this and instead swap in Kirk Cousins quarterback. How this offense looks? Because hard to get better than what Sam's done through 3 weeks. But I got them right there at 3.
I mean, I had them at 2. So yeah, I agree with that.
Go ahead, Ziggy.
I have them quite a bit lower. I actually have them behind the Bengals. I've got them right there at 8. I will say this. I think you're right. This Vikings team has played pretty well, but I will always fade teams that have an elite defense and a medium offense. And that's what this Vikings team has shown. Medium here, not meaning bad, but meaning average. Offensive success in the NFL is much more important than defensive success. And I'm just not confident that our offense is going to be able to keep up the level they've played at. I think they're going to continue to be pretty good, but even with how good they've only been an average offense in terms of efficiency. Again, the defense has been lights out. It's been the best defense in the NFL. Will that continue? Hopefully, but offense matters more.
I think there's still shock on this panel from the Bengals.
I mean, I'm still I'm blown away because now
you know the right thing.
Because my number 2 team, who I had at number 3, is going to be the Steelers. They're a top 5 team in the NFL. I'm putting them at number 2. And
so wait. So who do you have them ahead of?
I had the Steelers at 3. I had the Vikings and the Bills at 1, 2.
Oh, so Kansas City, and for you, Kansas City gets left out here.
Yes.
Okay.
I had the Chiefs.
This is insanity.
I had the Chiefs at 4.
Okay.
So the Steelers at number 2, talk about the best defensive football, lead the league in every single defensive category. And why can I not put them here? Because we're not supposed to be good. I mean, kick the crap out of Atlanta, who just played a close game with the Chiefs. Kick the crap out of Denver, who just won on the road in Tampa. And kicked the crap out of Ziggy's number 3 team, the Chargers, last week. Defense is flying around the field. Justin Fields played his best game of the season. Standing there at 3-0 at top of the North. This is a top 5 team in the league, and they're right there at number 2.
Hey, I'll give this to the Chargers. Justin Fields finally played a decent game of football for them. This was the first game of the year where they had an offense that was even close to NFL average, and it was pretty good. Is Justin Fields going to be able to keep this up? I don't think so. If Justin Fields is able to keep this up, what you have is a borderline top 10 team. I'm not sold on the Steelers at all. I think they're a decent team. They've won a fair number of games, so that's nice.
So can I just ask
they control their fate.
Can I ask you a question?
No, they're not a top 3 team. They're not close.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So last week you said the Chargers are your 3rd best team in the NFL. The Steelers beat them and are 3-0.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's 0-3 with 2 home losses. How is Pittsburgh out of your top 10 and Cincy's number 4?
Because Cincinnati has a much better offense than the Steelers.
We have much better defense.
Yeah, offense matters much more in the NFL than defense. This is how it is.
So if the Cincinnati Bengals had beat the Chargers last week, they're your number 1. Where's our credit?
If the Cincinnati Bengals beat the Chargers last week, they're probably in about the same spot.
Where's our credit? We beat your number 3 team.
I mean, they were number 3 because I think when Justin Herbert's healthy, this team is really good.
And we knocked that soft dude out of the game. We knocked him out of the game. Soft. The best defense in football. We met at the quarterback.
Calling Justin Herbert soft is silly. I'm not even going to respond to that.
So we have Packers at 10, Jets at 9, Seahawks at 8, Ravens 7, Lions 6, Eagles 5, Bengals at 4, the Vikings at 3, the Steelers at 2. And now, Ziggy, you're faced with a decision that will almost surely...
It's very easy.
It is easy, actually.
This team, I feel it's bad to leave out KC and San Francisco because I've got them at 2 and 3. But that's how it has to go. The Buffalo Bills are clearly the best team in the NFL. They've got by far the best offense in the NFL. As long as Josh Allen is playing for you, you will have one of the best offenses in the NFL. He's shown time and time again that if you just put him in the backfield, you can put whoever you want around him. Let's be clear, his receivers have actually done a great job this year. The production after the catch has been good. They've avoided drops. We've gotten more out of them, I think, than a lot of people were worried about in the offseason. But even setting that aside, as long as you have Josh Allen, you have an elite offense. The defense has played pretty well. They have beaten a bunch of good teams. They're the easy number 1.
So let me get this straight here. So in terms of how you build your list, winning truly does not matter to you. You are just thinking who would win. Are you thinking who would win?
I'm thinking who's favored on a neutral field.
Yeah. Okay.
These are the power rankings.
No,
These are
I
not
get
the
it.
record rankings.
I get it, and I respect that's how you're ranking your teams.
I mean, look, this is why last year I was pounding the table saying I don't care what Buffalo's record is. They can go on a run. They're one of the better teams in the NFL. And sure enough, right out of nowhere, they go on a run. Last year I was pounding the table. The Eagles' record doesn't matter. We're doing power rankings, and this Eagles team has gotten lucky. They're due for a collapse. Lo and behold, I didn't think it was going to be that bad, but the collapse came.
So can I
care
ask
about
you
how good the team is? That's what a power ranking is.
Have the Bengals looked good to you?
Yes, they've had one of the best offenses in the NFL.
I don't think they've looked very good.
So here's what I get, that against Kansas City they look good, should have won that game. Agree.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it's true. That game they did.
Against the Commanders, offense played well, but the defense got torched. Like, they really did.
Yeah. The defense had a tough game.
Okay. No,
So when we get flooded saying that
the 3-0,
the Chiefs are out of our top 10
Super Bowl champions,
I feel bad that the Chiefs and 49ers aren't in there, but it's not my fault.
I had the Niners at 10. I don't care about them as much. But when we get blasted, know that Pittsburgh belongs, so it's not my fault. It's the Bengals at 4 pick, which people deserve to blast.
Listen, the people will have the face is next to the team. So you guys...
Hey, maybe Who do the Chiefs play this week?
The Chiefs have.
It'd be funny.
Aren't they playing the Patriots? No, they're playing the Chargers. They're in Los Angeles.
It'd be funny if the Chiefs lost just like 4 in a row and now to leave them out of the top 10.
I mean, the Chiefs.
the Chiefs.
I have the Chiefs at 1.
I have them at 4.
The Chiefs have to be 1 until I see that they can lose.
You know, it's funny.
So they're just going to be 1 until the Super Bowl?
Until they lose.
They were 1 last week, won a game on the road, and then dropped out of our top 10. Oh, you know, our buddy Jordan.
This is on you guys. This is not on me.
No, that's on him.
This is primarily on Ziggy for the Bengals, and then it's on you for the Steelers.
Well, I had no
choice. Those are the two that people should.
I was going to leave the Vikings out of the top 10. I was willing to take one for the team here, and you just weren't.
Ziggy left me hanging.
I wasn't willing to.
We're a top 5 team, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't willing, but I think the Vikings are better than the Steelers.
You know what though? Our buddy Jordan commented on the last power ranking. He said Chiefs at 1's very vanilla. So maybe it's good.
So we listen to Jordan.
Again, I think Bills at 1 should be uncontroversial. The Bills have looked like the best team in the NFL.
I think the Bills have looked like the best team in the NFL. If you did put them on a neutral field with the Chiefs, I would be picking the Chiefs to win that football game.
I disagree.
When
we'll get to see next week. There's a lot of exciting games.
It's great, and you know what? There we go. I mean, I like that. This is the whole point.
There's our power rankings.
This is the whole point of it. It's that the Bengals at 7 on your actual list, Ziggy. I still think that's high for a team that is. I mean, yeah, they've had some offensive moments, but again, still losing these games. Like you need to beat the Raiders or the Patriots and the Commanders at home. But I will say this. I will say that having them at 7 makes more sense than 4, certainly.
I mean, this is why we do the joint power rankings.
Yes, there we go. All right, so if you haven't been sold on Ziggy's opinion yet, you might love this segment, and this might convince you. Zig or Zag? Ziggy, did you have... Ziggy was tasked with finding his record.
I stone cold forgot.
Okay.
So I'll tell you one that hit. Vikings +2.
So Ziggy has been up and down. He's been, zigging and zagging with this Zig or Zag segment. So do you have 3 picks for this week?
Absolutely. I'm going to give you, I think this is my lock of the week. I think this is the easiest pick. Bengals-Panthers over 47.5.
Right back to the well.
He's going back to the well. Over 47.
I mean, look, what did you see? You've seen an elite Bengals offense and a Bengals defense that's sometimes struggling. Jack, you talked about the Andy Dalton revenge game. You can't tell me 47.5 points. Actually, it's 46.5. You can't tell me 46.5 points is not going to hit here.
I mean,
23 each team.
I like the Panthers to win the game. I think they'll score a lot. Dalton will ball out. But I'm gonna zag the over. I think it's a Panthers blowout.
Good God, what is happening in this?
I think it's like 24-7 Panthers.
What?
I think they ball out for the Red Rocket.
I think it's like 24-16 or 24-13 Bengals. So I am zagging as well on the. I'm taking the under. How about pick number 2?
Pick number 2. Here's what the Chicago Bears showed us last week.
I'm sorry, I'm still floored. I think I'm still having hangover effects from the number 4 Bengals.
I mean, that's tough, but that's your problem. Here's what the Chicago Bears showed us last week. They showed us that they are willing to be grossly irresponsible. If they want to throw Caleb Williams out to throw 50 passes a game, they'll do it. I think that they're going to lose to the Rams. I don't care that they're home favorites. I think the Rams are going to get off to a hot start with Matthew Stafford, and the Bears are going to be behind. This run game ain't saving them. There's only one thing that can save them, and that's their Caleb Williams throwing the ball 50 times. It won't save them, which means Caleb Williams needs to throw the ball 60 times, which means the fact that he's got at 220.5 passing yards, easy over.
Well, I can't imagine what Jack's going to say to this.
I'm zagging going under.
Caleb so far. What are Caleb's numbers?
I will fade all Caleb props.
Through 3 weeks. Do we have it? Do we have his passing statistics?
Last week he was 363. Week before 174. Week before 93.
You're going over. I'm going to go over with you. I'm zigging with you on this one. I do think that at some point, I think he's going to figure it out.
Look,
and I don't think
He
they're going
doesn't
to win.
have to figure it out. That's the thing.
No, but I'm saying at some point he will, and I think that number 220, I could see him going for like 240. I do think they lose the game as well.
He might have like 230 and like 3 picks.
Sure,
or maybe he goes over.
Again, I think that's a possibility, Jack. I'm not saying he's going to have a good game.
Yeah, it is a possibility. I'm going to zag because I fade all Caleb Williams props, but I don't hate the bet.
Okay, so you have 1 zig and 3 zags between us through 2 picks.
The Denver Broncos are coming off a nice win in Tampa Bay. They're feeling good. They're feeling happy. This team is still not good. They got to go to MetLife. I know that's not something you've been able to say for a long time is scary. They got to go to MetLife and face the New York Jets. They got to face Aaron Rodgers. They've got to face a hungry defense. And I know Bo Nix looked okay against the Buccaneers, but Bo Nix is not a good quarterback yet. The Broncos are not a very good team. So when you're telling me, I know 7.5 is a lot of points, but the Jets finally seem like they're clicking and starting to figure it out. Give me Jets minus 7.5.
I'm going to zig that. I love that because I thought this line was going to be like 11.5. Like if the Broncos had lost to the Bucs, like 9 out of 10 times they do, this line's even higher.
This doesn't feel like the 49ers Patriots line is 10.5. This feels like that kind of game.
Wait, you think they?
I'm going to say Jets will cover.
You think the Broncos lose that game 9 out of 10 times
At the Bucs?
Yeah. Even with the way they dominated.
8 out of 10.
Oh, if they play that well, obviously, Jack's saying they don't play all.
No,
that
right.
well
I'm saying they don't.
Yeah, no. I'm saying
like
that when you dominate like that, if they had won a
I think
close
it's a game.
game.
I think it's an 0-2 in a desperation spot type game. They showed up and played well.
Everything went right for them against the Buccaneers. Everything went wrong for Tampa. And they still, they won the game, but they didn't. Bo Nix still had 0 passing touchdowns. I'm not convinced.
I'm going to zig.
I'm zigging with you too, though.
I
think
play.
the Jets are on their way to getting into rhythm.
Triple zig.
Yeah, triple zig. I think they're on their way to having this work out. And this could be, if the Jets come out and win this game big, the hype is going to start. Because I think you're seeing a little bit of that first snowball take effect after what they did to New England. If they go and beat up on the Broncos, which they should if they're a good team, then you're going to start, especially around here in Jersey, you're going to start hearing.
100%. Yeah.
You're just start hearing it.
We're starting to hear murmurings a little bit around here.
Okay, so way to rebound there, Ziggy. After 2 zags, you convinced me on 1, and then you get both of us for the last one. That's pretty good.
I'm going to bet that. I'll lay the points. So I'll lay 7.5.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I'm going to bet that.
Okay, so that leads in to our game picks here. How about some game picks, guys?
Right,
what do you think?
Sounds good to me.
All right. We'll start off the Cowboys. Speaking of MetLife, the Cowboys go to New York to take on the Giants on Thursday Night Football as 5.5-point favorites.
I still believe the Giants stink, and this is really desperate for Dallas. It's a must-win game. I'm going to take Dallas.
This Cowboys team has one strength, and that's the passing game. And you know what the weather forecast is for Thursday night?
No.
Dumping rain.
That means it's raining.
If there was ever a game that the New York Giants could beat the Cowboys, it would be this. The Cowboys are reeling. They're at home. They've lost faith. I'm 16. Jack has only 1 win behind me in the pick'ems, and he skipped away. So clearly, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just going to lean into it. Give me the Giants. F it.
If the Giants win this game, are they back? Are they back in content? Maybe not back, but
the Giants seems bad.
Okay, I don't know, man, dude. You're picking the Bengals at 4. You're all over the place. You think differently. You think differently here. Okay, so 1 Giants, 1 Cowboys. I am a little tempted, I will say, because I do think the Giants have been playing much better. Malik Neighbors has been unbelievable.
He's amazing. Flat out amazing.
But it's not enough. This is, speaking of the desperation games, like Jack said, where you have your back against the wall. If the Cowboys lose this, they're in serious trouble. So I'm going with Dallas to respond. Maybe not dominate, but respond and get a win against Giants team that has been playing better. Bengals at Panthers. Bengals a 4.5-point favorite.
Andy Dalton balls out.
The number 4 team in the NFL, the Cincinnati Bengals, take on.
Andy Dalton balls out, and the Panthers blow them out. 24-10, Carolina.
Joe Burrow. Give me the Bengals.
Yeah, this is. I actually think that this might be the bet of the week.
We'll come back to this. I think it's the bet of the week too.
If I had to pick any game this week, I think Bengals minus 4.5. People are down on Cincy outside of Ziggy, and people are higher on the Panthers because you saw. I think this was kind of like
Anyone's on IR.
I know, dude. I'm with you. I
think this is the bet of the week.
That last performance reminded me a little bit of when Antonio Pierce took over for what's his face? Yeah, with the Raiders last year. Who did he take over? The McDaniels, and they blew out the Giants in Vegas. Do you remember that?
Yes.
That's what the last week reminded me a little bit of, with Dalton coming in. Just had that magical week. This Panthers team is not that good.
They're going to be the Bengals. They will be the Bengals.
The Bengals 0-3 back against the wall. You're back against the wall team.
The Bengals are terrible.
I got the Bengals.
The Panthers and Dalton are good.
Pick. That's the pick for anyone who's looking to make a bet.
My pick is the opposite.
Broncos at Jets. Jets 7.5-point favorites. We all said before in Zig or Zag that we're going with the Jets on this one. The Jets. Saints at the Falcons. Kirk Cousins in Atlanta, a 1.5-point home favorite.
I'm now on the Saints now, so I'm taking Atlanta. Tough loss last week.
Hearing that.
Tough loss last week. Back at home. I got the Falcons.
Saints had a tough game against Vic Fangio. They'll recover. Give me the Saints.
Yeah, I don't know, Ziggy. I'm a little bit. I'm out on the Saints too. It didn't take long, and it won't take much convincing. Hey, I try to be unbiased in everything, but one thing really, I don't like the Saints.
Week by week reaction.
I don't like the Saints at all, and I'm also not convinced that this is the team we saw in the first 2 weeks. Like last year, they were 2-0. I mean, looked a lot different, to be fair, but in this spot, it's a tough game. These are always tough AFC South or NFC South games. I like Atlanta. I think Atlanta's on the verge of coming together, and they had a very good chance to beat the Chiefs. They probably should have with that PI call, that non-PI call, I'm sorry. So I got Atlanta at home as well. The Vikings travel to Green Bay to take on the Packers. The Packers a 2.5-point favorite. Jordan Love should be returning.
This is actually my bet of the week. It's the Packers in a blowout. I'm gonna make a Panthers Packers parlay. That's automatic cash. We'll come back to this clip. Panthers Packers, free money.
You're gonna walk into FanDuel. They're gonna see you coming a mile away.
That's like committing a robbery.
For FanDuel, yeah. This is just beating up on a poor kid.
Vikings. That's all I got.
Yeah, Ziggy. How about we get a little skull action going right now on the show?
Skull.
So you're really not riding with us.
I think the Packers will blow you.
You had us going 7-0 to start the year. No one else in the world had.
I had you 6-1 losing to the Packers.
He did have that.
No.
Yes, I did. I had you 6-1 losing.
We were undefeated.
No, you were not.
Go back and watch our Viking preview show.
I'll bet you $1 million on air.
We were undefeated.
Ziggy knows.
All right, so I'm going Vikings too. 2 for the Vikings, 1 for the Packers there. We have a huge preview, so go check that out if you want one more on this game. But basically, the quarterback matchup will be really fun to watch. For anyone who's interested, who likes the NFL, what Jordan Love do you get returning from injury? What Sam Darnold do you get, who actually is a little banged up himself with that MCL, just like Jordan Love is? Do you get this magical ride continuing, or does it start to fade? I mean, at some point, it feels like it should, but why?
I'm going to say 31-3 Green Bay.
All right, enough of that. The Jaguars go to the Texans. Two, kind of struggling in some ways. AFC South, I mean, one much more than the other. 6.5-point favorites for Houston.
The Texans are mid, but the Jags are bad. So I'm going to take Houston to bounce back from that beating at home here. Jags go to 0-4.
Yeah, Texans, the end.
I think that the Jaguars might be the most disappointing team in the NFL this season. And that's saying something. I mean, you've
Bengals.
the Bengals have been disappointing. Dallas has been disappointing. You've had a lot of teams that I think the Colts and the Bears have been disappointing to their fans. The Jaguars right now, even the Panthers, the Panthers lost the first 2 games. They looked like the worst team maybe ever created. Even they have a win here and looked really good in week 3. The Jaguars, I'm so down on them, especially after backing them. I feel a little betrayed. I'm going Texans as well. The Steelers at the Colts. Pittsburgh, a 1.5-point road favorite. Oh, home dog, Jack.
This is so
home dog.
Easy. We're the home team. You know that.
You will actually.
That's about 5 hours west of Pittsburgh. There'll be about 75% Steeler fans. Revenge spot from last year. We will blow them out. I'm going to say 24-3 Pittsburgh.
I'm just picking the Steelers to win. I don't know how.
That does seem to be how the Steelers normally act. You see them on the screen. They're kind of tied, and then all of a sudden, there'll be like a miraculous interception return for a touchdown. So I'm also going with the Steelers.
And then we start trying.
Yeah, then you start trying. Rams at Bears. The Bears are 2.5-point favorite in Soldier Field.
Rams.
Ziggy?
I'll take the Bears. They're favorites. I'll take the bait.
You'll take the bait, finally?
The Rams are so injured. So injured. The defense will win the Bears the game.
You're zig or zag with the Caleb over. You said the Rams are going to win this game.
I said I didn't think Caleb Williams will play well, but who knows? I've been talked into it. Give me the Bears.
All right, it's
all over the place. All right,
I'm switched in the last 5 minutes.
I'm going with the Rams as dogs here. They are very injured, but I trust Matthew Stafford a whole lot more than Caleb Williams right now. And hey, the Rams had a nice comeback win. Like, they did win last week. People forget that. The Eagles are 2.5-point favorites against the Buccaneers in Tampa.
It's a tough one. I do like my home dogs, especially off a loss. Philly's my number 5 team in the power rankings. So I'm going to go Tampa at home.
Rematch of the playoffs.
Oh, no, I think they beat him again. Tampa at home.
I have not been high on the Buccaneers. I think that they underperformed last week, but I think this Eagles team is good. They shut down the Saints offense. They'll do the same in Tampa. Give me the Eagles.
I'm with you, Ziggy. I think Philadelphia's had this game circled the entire offseason as a revenge spot. They haven't looked great, but I think that there's enough there. I think that they're better than Tampa straight up. I'm going with Philly in this one. And Tampa does have a point to prove after last weekend's embarrassment. So the Patriots at the 49ers. San Francisco a 10-point favorite despite numerous injuries.
There's nothing to say here.
Yeah,
we're all going 49ers?
San Fran at home.
Yeah.
We all think they cover?
I don't know.
I wouldn't like 10 in a pro game, but they're going to win. They'll win.
Washington at Arizona. The Cardinals a 3.5-point home favorite.
Jaden Daniels is cooking.
This is a fun one.
Jaden Daniels is cooking. This is a fun one. I think he just showed Burrow who the better LSU quarterback was last week. But he goes on the road now, riding pretty high, and loses to the Cardinals. I'm going to take the Cardinals in a close game.
Your team, Ziggy.
I'm also taking the Cardinals.
I'm going Cardinals as well.
Make your Cardinals
little bounce back spot. But hey, if Jaden Daniels, there it is. If Jaden Daniels comes out and balls out again, then you have my attention, Washington. You already have it to a degree, but you really have it. Cleveland at the Raiders. Vegas in the most thrilling game of the week. The Raiders are a 1.5-point favorite.
So Cleveland came in at number 32 in my power rankings with the worst quarterback in the world. So I'm going to take the Raiders.
I cannot wait to watch the Browns lose this game. Give me the Raiders.
I got the Raiders too. Chiefs at Chargers. Kansas City an 8.5-point favorite. We all got Kansas City.
I think it'll be a game, but yeah, I'm taking Kansas City.
Yeah, it's KC.
Yeah, KC. 8.5's a lot, though. The Bills all right, here's a good one. Sunday Night Football. Bills at the Ravens. Baltimore, 2.5-point favorite. Buffalo, hottest team in the league. Number 1 in the power rankings. Ravens, we had them in that top 10 there. Is this a spot where Lamar and Baltimore get back to 500?
No, I'm taking the Bills. We've seen Baltimore at home a few times in these primetime spots, and they lay an egg. So I'm going to take Buffalo.
I can't talk to you about laying eggs. What I can tell you is that this Bills team is the best one in football, and I'm not picking the worst team to win. Give me the Bills.
Ziggy.
I mean, that's great stuff from Ziggy.
Ziggy, how much do I have to pay you to watch you lay an egg?
I'm gonna go with the Ravens.
There
in this
was
spot
no
here.
way he was answering that question, right?
No chance.
Like no chance.
I'm going with the Ravens at home. It's a big game. It's if it was in Buffalo, I think this is one where the home team would win it. So since Baltimore is home, I'm going to go with them in a close one, a really fun one. Josh Allen is playing the best football in the league right now, but Derrick Henry, man, he looked a couple times. He got going downhill, and I was just thinking to myself, he's making NFL players look like little boys. It's just crazy. Tennessee at Miami. Remember this one last year in Miami?
Boy.
The late comeback. Ziggy and I are already doing a reaction to Giants-Packers. And all of a sudden, we look over the TV and Tennessee's in the middle of a crazy comeback. Who you got in Miami?
I think this is a game where it's kind of ugly. It's lower scoring. Both offenses struggle a little bit. But just the playmakers of Miami with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, I think one of them makes a big play. They're a little bit less inept than Tennessee. So I'm going to go the Dolphins like 17-10 or something like that.
I'm not picking this Dolphins team. Give me the Titans.
I'm totally with you, Ziggy. I love rooting for the Dolphins. I've said they're my second favorite team, but I'm out. Tennessee.
I just like the Dolphins.
I like them too, but I'm done. I'll support them if they win. I'll be happy for them, but I'm done picking them. at least until Tua comes back. Seattle
Well, that takes us.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we got one more game.
One more. Seattle at Detroit. Detroit, a 3.5-point favorite in the second of 2 Monday night football games.
So I believe after this week, only 2 teams will be undefeated, and that'll be Pittsburgh and Kansas City. So I'm going to take Detroit.
And Buffalo.
Right, in Buffalo, sorry. 3 teams. So I'm going to take Detroit here at home, just because they're at home. If it was in Seattle, tough place to play, I'd take Seattle, but home in Detroit, I'll take Detroit.
Detroit, even though their record's okay, they feel like a back against the wall team. Jared Goff has played poorly over the course of this season, but Geno Smith has played worse. Give me the Lions.
Seattle went in there a few years ago.
Pondering it.
I am pondering
like
it.
Christian
But
Ponder.
who cares? How many years ago?
No, it's just a similar, like they went to Detroit, Geno played well, kind of balled out there. I'm going to go Lions in a very close one. I'm going, look at Ziggy's.
Close.
I'm done, guys.
Close.
All right. Let's wrap it up here then with the Jack Cap of the week.
Thank you, boys. Spotlight's mine.
About time.
Big dub last week. Who did I have? BYU, 6-point dogs. They beat Kansas State outright by about 30. And this is gonna start a streak of about 8 in a row.
I feel
like I'm not going to lose again.
You feel it, Ziggy? I feel.
I won't lose again.
Okay, well then
for
let's
quite
hear
a
it.
bit.
Let's hear it.
I won't lose again for quite a bit. It's gonna be a good one. So today for lunch, I was trying a peach for the first time. A peach came with my lunch. I had a sandwich and a peach.
You've never had a peach?
Never had a peach. Tried it for the first time.
What?
Now, yeah. Tried a peach for the first time today.
Wait, you live under a rock? Like
I might. So I tried I tried it for the first time. First time I ever had it. It was a peach. Now, you know what state is the peach state?
Georgia.
The peach state is Georgia. But as a matter of fact, I hated that peach. I spit that peach right out of my mouth. That peach was crap. I hate peaches. So I'm going Alabama. Roll Tide on the money line to beat the Georgia Bulldogs. Nighttime in Bryant-Denny Stadium. Give me those. Alabama. Crimson Tide.
All right. Wow. Geez. What, Georgia's won how many games in a row in the regular season? Like 44 or something like that?
Don't matter to me, boss man.
You're going on the Saban field as a road favorite. You're not leaving with a win.
I think Alabama also blows them out too. This won't be close. Like I think it'll be like a BYU K-State type of game too. I think Bama blows them out in Bryant-Denny Stadium.
I am hesitant to bet against the Bulldogs, but I like it. I mean, I think that I think Bama's the pick as well.
No more Brock Bowers to bail.
Give me the line one more time.
Bama's plus 104 on the money line. They're
Plus
a 2.5-point home dog.
Wow.
A home dog in Bryant-Denny.
That's got to say something, right? A line like that. How could Bama not be the favorite?
Because this Georgia team is really,
Georgia's
really
won
good.
44 in a row.
Saban's gone. Doesn't matter, though. It doesn't matter.
That's good stuff. Well, all right. Thank you guys for tuning into this Week 4 preview show. If you're enjoying it, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We'll have a lot more content coming out later this week. And after the games, we can't wait. We're going to go live. Everyone good to go live, right? Before the Week 4 games, like 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern time, it's looking like roughly then. Have to drag Jack out of bed. Like, there's a chance that Jack's not on that show. And he is hungover in his bed. Like, there's a world where that is happening.
Yeah, it says about 50-50.
50-50. But we're doing a live 11 a.m. Eastern time. We're also probably going live after Vikings-Packers. Or no, maybe after the 7 o'clock games. But we'll have a ton of reaction content. And we look forward to seeing you. So see you then.